the bodyguard who protected more than just a life. Marcus stood in the rain outside the school gates, watching his daughter Emma climb into the car with her backpack dragging behind her. His shirt was soaked through, but he smiled anyway. He'd been late picking her up again, racing from his security job across town. As a single father working double shifts, Marcus knew what sacrifice looked like. But he never imagined that one assignment, one woman, would show him what it meant to be truly seen. What he didn't know was that the woman he was about to protect would end up protecting his heart instead. Before we dive into this incredible story, if you love tales about unexpected kindness and life-changing moments, please hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss a story from Heartfelt Moments. Drop a comment below telling us about a time someone's kindness changed your life. And if this story touches your heart, give it a like. Now, let's get back to Marcus and the woman who would change everything. Marcus had been working security for 8 years, ever since his wife passed away from cancer. Emma was only 3 then. Now she was 11, smart as a whip, and the reason he woke up every morning. The security company called him one Thursday afternoon with an urgent assignment. A high-profile client needed a personal bodyguard for 2 weeks during a series of business events in the city. The pay was 3 times his usual rate. Marcus didn't hesitate. That money could cover Emma's braces and maybe, just maybe, a real birthday party this year instead of boxed cake in their tiny apartment. When he arrived at the luxury hotel downtown, Marcus expected another entitled executive who'd barely acknowledge his existence. He'd protected plenty of them before, people who looked through him like he was invisible. But when the elevator doors opened on the penthouse floor, he met Rachel Morrison, and something felt different. Rachel was the CEO of a tech company worth billions, though Marcus didn't know that at first. She was in her late 30s, dressed in an elegant blazer, but what struck him wasn't her appearance. It was her eyes. They were kind. When she shook his hand, she actually looked at him, really looked, and said, "Thank you for keeping me safe, Marcus. I know this job isn't easy." Those simple words knocked him off balance. In 8 years, no client had ever thanked him like that. Over the next few days, Marcus accompanied Rachel to board meetings, investor dinners, and conference halls. She never treated him like hired help. She learned his name, asked about his day, and noticed when he looked tired. On the 3rd day, as they sat in the car between appointments, Rachel asked him a question that changed everything. "Do you have family, Marcus?" He hesitated, then pulled out his phone and showed her a picture of Emma at her school science fair, holding up a volcano model with the biggest grin. Rachel's face softened. "She's beautiful. You must be so proud." "She's everything," Marcus said quietly. "I'm working this job so I can give her a better life. She deserves the world." Rachel nodded, and Marcus saw something flicker in her expression, something that looked like loneliness. Here was a woman who had everything by society's standards, yet in that moment, she looked at his phone with a kind of longing that money couldn't buy. The turning point came on day 6. They were leaving a restaurant when 3 men approached aggressively, pushing through the crowd. One grabbed Rachel's arm. Marcus didn't think. He stepped between them and Rachel, his training kicking in instantly. The confrontation escalated fast. One man shoved Marcus hard, and another swung at him. Marcus could have subdued them quickly, could have used force, but he saw the fear in Rachel's eyes and the gathering crowd of onlookers with phones out. Instead, he kept his voice calm and steady. "Gentlemen, I don't want trouble. Let's all take a breath and walk away." He positioned himself as a shield, absorbing their aggression while protecting Rachel's safety and their dignity. Hotel security arrived moments later, but what Rachel witnessed in those tense seconds was a man who chose courage with compassion, strength with kindness. Back in the hotel suite, Rachel's hands were shaking as she poured water. "You could have been hurt. Why didn't you just fight back?" Marcus shrugged. Violence should always be the last option, not the first. Those guys were probably just drunk and angry. No reason to ruin their lives or yours over a bad moment. Besides, he smiled gently, "I promised someone I'd come home safe every night." Rachel stared at him, and for the first time, Marcus saw tears in her eyes. I've spent 10 years building a company, fighting my way into boardrooms where I wasn't wanted, proving myself over and over. I forgot what it's like to meet someone who leads with kindness first. You reminded me tonight. The next morning, Rachel asked Marcus to have coffee with her before their scheduled events. She told him about her journey from a small town in Ohio to the top of the tech world, about the loneliness that came with success, about forgetting why she started in the first place. I built this company to create technology that helps people, but somewhere along the way, I stopped seeing the people right in front of me. Marcus listened, and then he shared his story too. The late nights with Emma doing homework at the kitchen table. The parent-teacher conferences he raced to attend. The way she'd saved up her allowance to buy him a watch for Father's Day, even though it only cost $12. She taught me that the richest people aren't the ones with the most money, he said. They're the ones with the most love. When the 2 weeks ended, Rachel made Marcus an offer that stunned him. She wanted to hire him as head of security for her company with a salary that would change his and Emma's life. But more than that, she wanted him to help her build a corporate culture based on the values he lived every day: respect, kindness, and seeing people's humanity first. 6 months later, Marcus stood in Rachel's office as she signed paperwork establishing a scholarship fund for children who'd lost parents, named after Emma. Rachel had met his daughter by then, and the three of them had become an unexpected family, built not on romance or obligation, but on mutual respect and kindness. You saved more than my life that night, Rachel told him. You saved my perspective. You showed me that real courage is choosing kindness when you could choose force. That's the leader I want to be. Marcus smiled, thinking about how one assignment, one choice to treat another person with dignity, had transformed everything. He'd been hired to protect a VIP, but what he'd really done was show a powerful woman that her humanity mattered more than her status. And in return, she'd shown him that kindness isn't weakness. It's the strongest force in the world. Remember, every person you meet is fighting a battle you know nothing about. Choose kindness. It might just change both your lives. Share this story if it touched your heart, and let's spread more kindness together.